I get myself into $10,000 of credit card debt before the age of 25. Let me tell you, this is a cautionary tale. When I graduated college, I had no credit card debt. None. Literally not a penny. So I did not know how soul-crushing credit card debt could be. So after I graduated, I took a job, my first big girl job, moved to Ohio. We don't talk about that. Ohio's where I learned about credit cards. I took a pretty good paying job for being just out of school in the industry that I was in. I think I was making like $35 an hour, which was like really good, I thought, for being 22 and being in the apparel industry. I thought I was wealthy. I was spending money like I was wealthy. I had a clean slate, no credit card debt. I could have built myself a very solid financial foundation. I could have started saving. I didn't have a savings either, by the way. I had no debt, but I also had no money. I could have built myself a solid foundation and I could have made some smart financial decisions. But I did whatever the opposite of that is. Paid for the nicest apartment that I could afford in Ohio, which was pretty nice because it's Ohio. Paying for like weekly workout classes. I did boxing like 4 times a week. Do you know how expensive that is? I had no business doing that. Should have been at Planet Fitness. I was shopping, buying whatever clothes I wanted, buying whatever I wanted because I was wealthy. And this is where things take a turn. My friend says, let's go to Europe. She says, let's go to Europe. And I say, okay, where, when? I'm in. Again, I didn't have money. I did not have the money to go to Europe. But what I did have was a Delta credit card. I had a Delta credit card that I had applied for because I knew I was going to get the Delta Sky Miles to go with it. So I bought a ticket to Ireland. I think it cost me $500 after the whole Delta Sky Miles thing, which honestly, it was a steal. I was like, great, I can totally afford this. A few days before our trip to Ireland, my friend texts me her ticket and she's like, this is what time I get in. What time do you land in Dublin? And I look at my ticket and I'm like, that's not the day that I get in. I had bought a ticket for the wrong day. If you know me, it's not shocking, unfortunately. But she's like, it's cool. I'll just hang out in Dublin until you get there. And I'm like, hell no. Like, you're not staying at this hostel in Dublin by yourself for 3 days. And not on my watch. Not while I have a credit card. So I put an entire new flight on my Delta credit card. And this is where things take a turn for the worse, ladies and gentlemen. I put a $1,200 flight to Dublin on my Delta credit card. Canceled my other flight, no refund. Canceled it, no refund. So at this point I had close to $2,000 on my credit card just getting to Dublin, okay? But I'm like, money comes back, memories don't. Get to Europe. My credit card is coming out every 2 seconds. Ding, 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 ding. I didn't care because I was like, I have a good job and I'm gonna pay all this off and money comes back and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I honestly don't even know how much I spent because I didn't keep track of it. I did not even look at my credit card till I got home. I didn't look at my bank account. I just ding, 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 ding. And then I actually ended up moving to LA. I took a job which was a 50% pay cut. So I was making $18 an hour living in LA. But I knew I had to make that sacrifice for myself because it was a good brand and I needed that on my resume. I needed my foot in the door in the fashion industry in LA because Ohio was not cutting it for me. I needed to be in the action. I wanted to be in fashion. I wanted to design. Like, I was just so passionate about being in the fashion industry. I didn't care. I would have done it for free, honestly. I would have done it for free. But I was living in LA making $18 an hour. I didn't have a savings because I saved nothing from my time in Ohio. So I proceeded to open a few more credit cards. I learned about the Amazon credit card and I furnished a lot of my new apartment with my Amazon credit card. Yeah. I was putting bills. I'm like, don't put your bills on your credit card. Like, don't do that. My friend's like, you want to go to Disneyland? I'm like, yeah, let's go to Disneyland. Money comes back. Also, other huge thing, when I first moved to LA, the day I got there, my apartment fell through. I hadn't signed the lease yet, but like I was just waiting to hear back and like just hoping and praying because my job started on like Monday. And I got there and they were like, nope. I did not know what to do. I didn't know a single person there. I had nowhere to stay, nothing. I had to put all my stuff from my U-Haul in a storage unit and live in a hotel. I lived in a hotel for a month while I was trying to find an apartment because it is so hard. So I finally found one, but I couldn't move in for another month, so I was literally living in this hotel. And guess who paid for that hotel? Delta Amex, baby. Yeah, I put an entire month of a hotel stay on my credit card. So at this point, I'm in like $10,000 credit card debt. I was 23. Had to start working my ass off because all of a sudden I was hitting my limits on my credit cards, and I was like, oh shit. And I was applying for new ones and not getting approved, because you know what I did when I left Ohio? I broke my lease, which was not allowed. No subletting, not allowed. Don't break your lease or you're gonna pay for it. And I did. They sent the rest of my rent to collections, which by the way is still there, because honestly, collections sounds like it's not my problem anymore. Sounds like my debt was bought by somebody else. But it screwed over my credit score though. Couldn't get any more credit cards. I was screwed. So I had to deal with the credit cards that I had and the max amounts that I had at the time. So what did I do? I got some part-time jobs. I was a golf coach for little children on the weekends. I'm not a good golfer. I started driving for Uber. That was interesting. With gas being like $6 a gallon in LA, I made like negative money doing that. All this to say, I worked my ass off in LA to try to get myself like above water, which I really didn't at all. So when the job offer came in Philly, which is where I live now, I took it so quickly, jumped on that shit, moved out to Philly, and have been working my ass off ever since to get myself out of credit card debt and build a savings and a life for myself. Started posting on TikTok. I have paid off $3,000 or $4,000 from TikTok, actually, of my credit card debt, which is the entire amount of what I've earned from this app in the past like 3 or 4 years. So it's not nearly as much as other creators are making, but I also don't do it full time and I don't really try that hard. So super grateful that I was able to do that though. I also won a jackpot at a casino. Wouldn't recommend. I'm not telling you to go to the casino, but I did, and I won $1,600. I'm just saying. And what did I do with that? I paid off a credit card immediately. And that's what sucks about being in credit card debt, is every like cent that I get that's not necessary for like my bills and my rent goes towards credit cards. Like I could have had $1,600 to go on a trip or do something fun or actually like buy something for myself or put it in savings. Everything I make has to go to my credit card debt. But anyway, I'm on a track to pay off all of it by next month, which I'm so excited about. And this is a cautionary tale. I had so much fun in my early 20s, but I regret so many of those decisions. So if you are considering using your credit cards in the reckless way that I did, I beg of you to not. Just don't. Interest is insane. My credit card payments have been like $400 a month for like 3 years. It'll make your life hell. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So be smarter than me, but still have fun and still go to Europe. Okay, bye.
I'm paying off $30,000 worth of credit card debt, and I would like your opinion on something. And I don't ask for your opinion outright very often, because every time I talk about money on here, someone gives their opinion regardless, which is totally fine. I do understand that I'm putting it out there. All that to say, like, I am specifically asking a what would you do sort of situation, because I'm curious to hear from the masses on what they would do. So to paint the picture, I am paying off $30,000 worth of credit card debt. I currently sit at like just under $12,700, I believe. It's like $12,500 or something like that. And I have a emergency fund of 3 months worth of expenses sitting in a high yield savings account. And that emergency fund is maybe $500 more than how much credit card debt I have. That's point number one. Point number two is that separate from the credit card debt, I also have some other debt. So I have an auto loan, I have an RV loan, and I have something else. I'm forgetting something. We have my husband's truck loan, but we're trying to sell the truck, and then once the truck is sold, we won't have that loan anymore. It's a very small loan. So my initial plan was to pay off credit card debt as fast as I could, build my emergency fund up to 6 months of expenses, and then attack the other debt. And the reason why I would build up my emergency fund to 6 months before attacking the other debt is because the other debt is secured, and those monthly payments are very manageable, and the interest rates on them are relatively low, so it doesn't feel as emergent as paying off the credit card debt. But now to the point. Would you take the emergency fund and pay off the credit card debt, knowing that you're getting rid of it in one fell swoop? Or would you just like stay the course, continue putting excess towards your credit card debt, paying it off as fast as possible, but maintaining the emergency fund? I think on one hand, it would like lift such a weight to not have that credit card debt anymore. On another hand, I would then have to work to build that back up before I could tackle any of the other stuff. And I am a homeowner, and I do have like a crap ton of animals, and sometimes just unexpected things come up. So I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm vulnerable to taking on more debt. But what would you do? a part of me is like, okay, let's make as much progress this month as we can. And then next month, in June, pay off the debt. We would probably have like $1,000 left over, which is like enough of a little cushion. I don't know. I should be doing homework, and instead I'm doing this.
Hey guys, so I'm here at Walmart, as you can see, and I had a member tell me that they were checking out for food the other day, and they were in the process of checking out, and she looks around at the checkout with the cashier, and she's like, how much does my food cost? And I'm like, and they're like, they don't know because they can't see it. So now, apart from shutting down the self-checkouts, Walmart has also decided to take away the monitor that tells you how much your food costs. If that's not the strangest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So in other words, you don't know how much you're paying until you've paid for it and got your receipt. Has anybody else had this issue at Walmart? Is this happening everywhere? Because if so, this makes me not ever want to come back here again. This is really ridiculous, you guys. Like, that was so weird. Even the cashier who was ringing me out said she agreed that this was the strangest thing. And she told me that they also closed off the self-checkouts. So that's pretty strange, you guys. That's really strange. I'm not sure why they did that.
For some chips, it's crazy. Yeah, and then for the read it. $28. For some cheese though. Oh, ain't no way. $8. $6. When have watermelons been $8?
I spent $22.54 for 4 things at Walmart. Let's get into it. I try to be very budget conscious. I don't shop at the expensive stores. I usually just shop at Walmart. I have a neighborhood Walmart nearby me. I bought 4 things, and it was this much. Granted, the things I bought technically aren't cheap, right? 2 of those items are the majority price. Papaya. I bought a papaya because I'm going to be doing some recipe stuff with it later. This is the smallest one I could find. And the papaya is $1.18 per pound. This thing ended up being just under 6 pounds. So this was $7 for this papaya. Then I bought literally the cheapest piece of steak I could find, $10. $9.96. One piece of steak for $10. That's sad, but price is $12.94 per pound. And then the other 2 things I bought were on the cheaper side. Cream of tartar. I'm going to be trying a healthy recipe, and it called for that. And then for my everyday coffee, I was running low on almond milk. So I'm sad with these prices. People are struggling. 4 items should not cost me $22 and change. I mean, I get it. Steak is expensive, but that steak a couple years ago before inflation hit would have probably been $6 or $7. And then the papaya, maybe it's because I don't live somewhere tropical. I don't know. $7 seems excessive for the smallest papaya I could find. I would have much preferred to pay like $4 something, but this is the world we live in.
Y'all, I don't know if I'm the only one who didn't notice, but when did Target start selling clip-ins? I mean, they got curly ones. They got soft curl, blown out straight. Then they got braid in here. They got wig bands. Y'all, Target trying to become the wig supply or something? They even got a hair holder. They got ponytails. They got clip-in ponytails. Am I the only one who did? I'm gonna have to get. Hold the front door. What? I just came in here for some edge control. They got a whole full hair store up in here. They got a full hair store up in Target. What? Excuse how I look. I just had to address that because what?
I mean, I can't afford to just wander around Target and pick out whatever I want and toss it back in the cart like I used to. Like, but that's
Remember the days?
That's back when eggs weren't $8. I mean,
I just went to the store, and you know, we always talk about this, but like, it's a big thing because it's just so expensive. I literally went yesterday just to get a few, like, 2 bags of items and soda. 2 12-packs, buy 2, get 1 free. But do you know how much those 12-packs were listed for?
like $12.
$10.99.
Dang.
I was going to come on here and make a video about how we need to remind ourselves to not be supporting Target during Pride Month with the Pride line. We're not buying that. They scaled back so much on their DE&I initiatives. We're not doing it, y'all. And if you're supporting these brands and these companies, you are actively becoming a part of the problem. I was going to make that video, and then I looked at their Pride collection this year and realized how hideous and horrific it is. And honestly, if you buy it, I'm going to judge you for wearing it. And then also supporting Target. I mean, like, this is crazy. I'm going to show y'all a couple examples, because some of this stuff, like, what is this? Who is wearing this? Like, I'm sorry, this is diabolical. This is crazy work. Maybe at like a festival, I don't even, like, who did that? Honorable mention for the live your truth, love your truth, but also, we don't support your truth, said Target. Like, come on. I would have rather have seen them just not do a collection at all. The other thing that's really bothering to me is that they've taken out any words that are like gay, lesbian, bisexual, like, it's nothing. Everything is like labeled as pride, like loud and like, they've gotten rid of anything that is like queer centric, which is like, I'm not surprised. I'm sadly not surprised, but if I see any of y'all wearing this stuff, also happy Pride and make sure you're registered to vote. Thank you.
I had to go to Target for the first time in many months, and man, this place sucks now. Look at this. This one got me good. Look at this. The Action Bible. What do you think that's like? This looks like fun. Kids are gonna love this. Definitely. Yeah, it could be real damaging to children if they were able to identify as a different gender. But feeding them a coloring book about the heroic characters in the Old Testament, I don't see any problem with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's totally cool. Not gonna harm them. That's not gonna do any long-term damage to a child's development, right? Yeah, we're good. This whole wall right here too. Look at this. Get me back to God's country.
Please tell me you guys saw Target's Pride ad. Please tell me y'all saw the thing they posted on the first day of Pride, because it is sending me. It is so funny. And yes, I am calling it a Pride ad because they posted it on the first day of Pride. This was posted June 1st, yesterday. It says halfway to Halloween. Lewis and friends are back because they're trying to get TikTok excited about Lewis again. 2 things. 1, they posted this instead of saying Happy Pride like they've been in the past. Instead, they're doing halfway to Halloween, and 2, no, it's not! The halfway point to Halloween is May 1st, you dumb shits! They didn't even bother to look at a calendar first. They didn't even bother to count the days to see if that was even a correct statement. Nope, not June 1st. It is now halfway to Halloween. They were a full month off. And they're just like, what a deflection that is. What a way to say we're not going to say anything about Pride. Like, that just is so funny to me. But it is shady that they're still willing to support the LGBT, but only in merchandise. Only if you're willing to buy stuff from us. We'll sell some stuff that is related to it, but like stubborn. Like, we're not going to actually like outwardly like make it obvious, but like we're going to still have Pride items, but only because you're willing to give us your money. Otherwise, We don't want to even mention that it's Pride Month.
Guys, while I'm at Walmart and I only got a little bit of things, why only this little bit of things cost me $90? This is not even, it's only three of these in here. And these socks, like 2 pairs of socks, 2 shirts, and they was only $8. Like, I don't understand how this became $91, y'all. This is ridiculous. This potty was only $24. Like, I don't understand how this Walmart thing became $90. Comment down below and let me know what do y'all see for $90.
Pay attention when you're buying stuff at the grocery store, especially Walmart. They just tried to cheat me out of $5. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if I'd have bought more than one of this item, it would be a lot. And everybody they're doing this to is getting charged $5 a crack. They had 12 packs of the wet dog food for $16.88 on rollback. I got to the checkout and it rang up $21.98. I'm like, hold up, ma'am. This said $16.88 on the shelf. And she comes over with her little phone thing and she scans the box. She's like, nope, it's 21 something. I'm like, okay, but it's 16 something on the shelf. And she's like, it's 21. I'm like, okay, but do you still want it? Yeah. So I went and got the item, took it back to the car, dropped everything off, went back into the store, went and took a picture of the shelf where it said $16.88. Then took my slip receipt and my photo and went up to customer service. And I became a problem. And I said, excuse me, I'm not normally a problem, but today I'm going to be a problem. This is what I was charged. This is what it actually cost. I showed them the phone with the picture, with the SKU and everything. And I said, this is what I purchased. This is this. This is this. Same thing. You charged me $5 more than you should have. And then when he tried to ring it up, my receipt wouldn't print up. I'm like, are you kidding? So in the meantime, there's a line building behind me, and they count on that. They count on you not wanting to be bothered over $5. I'm bothered. I'm poor. It's $5. So, needless to say, I stood there, I waited. They couldn't get it because my receipt wouldn't come up. So then they had to get a manager. I don't care. I'll wait. I have time. It's $5. The manager came over. They have to refund it completely and then re-ring it at the correct price. I don't care. Do what you gotta do. It's $5. They have overcharged everybody that's bought that. They've overcharged all of them. $5 each. That's a lot of money that Walmart is scamming people out of. Pay attention. Don't be a victim. And yes, I got my $5 back. And FYI, the change machine at the self-checkout didn't want to give me my change either. I had to wait for that to be given to me.
When are things going to go back to where you can work and support your family without fucking stressing out? Seriously, my bills alone are $3,000 a month. I'm a single mom who receives fucking like $300 a month in child support for 2 kids. I can't do this anymore. I work every single day. I get maybe a day off. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll get 2 fucking days off. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of this. And I fucking forgot to pay my daughter's braces. And now I have to bring her in for them to remove them because I can't afford to pay it all off at once. I am so sick of this country. I'm so sick of how expensive everything.
I'm in a place financially in my life where I completely understand why people commit fraud.
Thing fucking is. Something needs to happen. Where I live, rent is insane. A 2-bedroom is fucking $2,000. I can't go to the grocery store and get a week's worth of fucking groceries without spending $300, $400. Gas alone, almost $4 a gallon. I have to drive all over my town for my job because I clean houses. I'm so sick of it. Something needs to be done. Something. These prices are insane. It's ridiculous. Nobody can fucking survive like this, especially if you're alone, you're single. You can't. Like, do I have to get a fucking roommate and rent out my son's room and move him in my room? Like, this country sucks. It sucks. I'm sick of it. And I'm tired. God, and I'm pissed. It's fucking venting.
This economy is really starting to piss me off. My husband and I, we have done good for so long. So long. I struggled in the beginning when my kids were little. I went to nursing school. My husband has a good job. We were doing good. Now I can't even pay my bills. I'm sick of this. I am sick of this. Spent $500 on groceries yesterday at Walmart again. Like, what in the world? I'm so sick of this. I'm gonna have to get another freaking job. What are y'all doing to help get through this? Because I am sick of it. I am not used to being this broke, and I don't like it. And I did all the things to get me out of where I was when I was younger.
I'm so fucking depressed right now about my finances and just how I feel like my life is just such a mess and it needs sorting out. And it's just like, it feels so heavy. Like, this year has just been so shit for money. Like, it started off so well, and then about springtime it just went, and I'm just like getting so behind on everything. Like, I can't catch my tail, whatever the saying is. I'm just actually really sad about it all. I've been applying for like part-time jobs and stuff. Stink. Been applying for part-time jobs, but like nothing's coming through properly, or it doesn't feel right. Like, because I still want to do something that I'm actually, you know, happy with. But I think it's gonna have to come to something where I'm just doing a part-time job that sucks the fucking life out of me. Then I'll be even more depressed. It's like, it feels like it's no way out, and it's heavy. Yeah. So, if you're the same, maybe this video is just to say, like, you're not alone. So I'm going to really focus on building more of an abundant life.